has been.
Yes. Oh my God. I'm actually really excited. I've been missing doing this, guys.
I miss you guys.
I miss
you guys.
Like, I mean, I've seen you a couple times this last month, but I have not seen you whatsoever, Cameron.
No, I've been stressed, depressed, and just didn't want to get dressed. But you know what? I'm here, and we're gonna deal with it.
We're gonna deal with it. We're gonna deal with it.
We're gonna talk about it.
We're gonna talk about it. We're gonna do it.
You sure you weren't busting rhymes and dropping bars on some rap battles or something?
I know, bro. What happened to you this month, bro? But before we get started, we have a lot that we want to catch up on, a lot of little things that happen in our personal lives that we're excited to talk about and share with you. I think I started this a couple episodes ago, but I want to keep the train going where we just start off on a high note with like a positive quote. And I read this one on my fridge. And it kind of helped me out of my own little funk, but maybe it could do it for you too. Okay, so success is not final, failure is not fatal, but it's the courage to continue that counts. End quote. I love that.
I fucking love that too.
Yeah, like I read that because I've been more on the like the failure side of that coin.
Yeah, me too.
Yes.
Me definitely.
And you know, we're the Balance Boys, and to me that's just a perfect balanced quote, because you can achieve things in life. You can reach some real big highs, but then if you stop there and cancel out all that motivation, well, that's what you're doing. You're stopping dead in your tracks, and you're gonna have to start all over again, rather than to continue to build and build and build. So yeah, achievement is awesome, but it's really the process. We made a video about this a long time ago.
Yeah.
Enjoying the process.
Yeah, enjoying the process. Yeah.
And yeah, so if you're on that side of the coin, just remember to keep going. You know, I mean, love your victories, but it doesn't end there. You know, if your heart's still beating, there's still more work to do, right? And then on the other side of the coin, failure is not fatal. Now, this is a big one.
Yeah.
Because no matter what you do in life, you're gonna fucking lose, unless if you're Floyd Money Mayweather.
Right.
He lost an amateur.
He did. He lost 4 amateur fights, and he lost to the gold medalist.
Oh yeah.
In the Olympics.
Yeah.
He got robbed. If you watch
he did. He really did get robbed.
But perfect example of Floyd. He's at the top of sports, you know, like the Olympics, compete for a gold medal, and then gets robbed. That he could have looked at that and been like, "Oh, that's a failure. My career's done." He said, "You know what? No, I'm done with this amateur bullshit. It's time to go pro." And look where that led him. 51-0 or 50?
No, 51-0.
Because Conor was 50, but Logan Paul was not a professional bout, so I think.
So it is still 50.
That's a good point. It is 50 then. My bad.
But whatever. So the point is you're going to reach highs and you're going to have lows. And when you find yourself on either side of the coin, just remind yourself that that's not it.
Right.
That those moments don't necessarily define you in its entirety. They're definitely moments to learn from and to grow from, but it doesn't mean that you're stuck, right?
Right.
There's always a chance, there's always opportunity to get your ass. What rhyme did you use? Something about getting dressed.
Oh yeah, I'm stressed, depressed, and didn't want to get dressed, but you know what? I'm here anyway.
Boom. See, courage to continue on. Like, it's been a month since we've done an episode, and it's been on my mind. I'm like, fuck, am I sort of just letting this slide away from me because maybe, I don't know, sometimes I lack confidence in what I do.
Right.
You know, especially like with this channel, we don't get that many views. You know, sometimes we're inconsistent with like our productivity, and and when you do this for a while, it kind of weighs on you.
And it burns you out a little bit.
It burns you out, and so, but the fact that, you know, we're still doing it, and we're still going to give it 100% of our effort. At least I'm gonna do my very best to keep this going. Seeing that TikTok video almost at 600 views, definitely.
Yeah.
I was like, what the fuck?
And we're on the wrong platform.
Right. So you know, it's just gotta find that fire again and just continue to go, because that is what counts, and that is what is going to create a lot of fulfillment in our lives.
Yeah.
So let's just keep it going, guys. Let's start this episode with a fucking high. Cameron, you were in a car accident.
Yeah. So, funny fucking story, crazy story, and possibly life-changing if I don't do things right kind of story. So, I'll just say I've had the world in the palm of my hands for a short time. I had an opportunity to really skyrocket my life. And I invested in some things that I really felt would have been great.
Yeah, they're smart investments.
Yeah, they were but they were dead investments. So like they're still an investment, but they're not making me anything back. So this whole time I've been kind of just coasting off of like whatever I can get here and there in the moment. And so I wasn't really worried about a job or anything. I just got a car. I was like, you know what? Cool. I got a car. I can look for a job at any time. I can focus on like YouTube, whatever. I can do whatever I want. And then all my money started to get, less and less. And I was like, okay, I need a job. So I applied everywhere. And all this time I was driving safely. I was driving great. And then I just, out of nowhere, I get a job, with Amazon. And I was so fucking shocked, So I was like, fuck it. Drive down to Fontana, go to the interview and everything. They set me up. I thought it was a fucking dream, like it was a joke, like somebody was gonna be outside the door like, you're not really an Amazon employee. But like,
Ashton.
yeah, like seriously, like I seriously thought I was like on pun, because it was literally from going online, applying for the job, and then they said, pick a day when you want to come in for your pre-hire interview. I'm like, wait a minute, aren't you supposed to call me for the interview? Why am I picking the day to come in? That's crazy. So I did that. It was the next day. It was awesome. So I drive down there, all excited, and then I fucking forget documentation. Like, all the documentation that I needed. So I had to drive all the way back. Mind you, like, I was kind of a little bat out of hell a little bit, but because I was mostly excited for this experience, So then I get all my documentation, come back. There was no traffic or anything coming back and forth, It was great. Like, it was just a perfect situation. And I was like, sweet, I'm getting a job, I'm fixing my life, I'm not gonna have to worry about my insurance anymore, I'm not gonna have to worry about my phone bill anymore, like, I'm good. And then I'm driving home, and I'm confident, I'm like, it feels good to have a job. And, I just have this, I got the confirmation email, it feels good. I'm changing lanes, everybody's going 70 on the freeways. You know what, I'm gonna go 70 with everybody else. I'm gonna go the flow of the traffic. This is gonna be great. So I just going, I'm cruising, check my mirror right, check my mirror left, check my rear view mirror, alright, nobody's coming. Put on my blinker, check my shoulder real quick, and fuck! Wait, where'd my mirror go? Oh shit! And I just see this van just cruising off and their door kind of flying. I'm like,
that's what blows my mind. You checked your mirror, you checked your side, and you still hit a van.
Yeah.
What I think happened, and I see this all the time, and in my opinion, this is what causes most accidents, is when two people are merging into the same lane.
Yeah.
So when you checked, he in fact probably was not in your lane.
No.
He was probably in the lane over. But as you were going, he was going.
That's a good assumption, because throughout that day I have been seeing that. Like people were doing
it
that.
happens all the time.
There's a time where like I see it all the time. They just switch lanes, and it's like, whoa, you just had the same idea at the same time.
Yeah. So, hearing the story a second time, because he was telling me the story when we were on our way here, and I was like, oh, dude, we gotta tell on the podcast. It sucks. That's why you gotta do it.
Sucks because it's such a high note that I was on, and then it just fucks me. Because, like, at this time, I'm struggling to pay my insurance because I don't have really any money right now, and
it's just, there's a lot.
Yeah,
the worst thing to happen could
happen. And I got in an accident, and I smooth talked my way out of that so big. Like, I don't want to give, like, too many details in, but, like, let's just say that no cops were involved in the end, and all I need to do is pay for repairs. Mm-hmm. That's it.
I just thought of something too. The reason I think it did work out in your favor is because it actually technically was his fault.
Yeah?
Because you guys were doing the same thing, but he was behind you.
Yeah.
So wouldn't that constitute he was at fault?
Maybe. That's a tough one.
It is.
Yeah,
It is
because
a tough one.
I checked all my areas, but I was
I could
such
be
shock in
absolutely
the
wrong, but
moment.
in my opinion, that he should be the one at fault because he was not looking ahead, paying attention to
Yeah.
people merging.
Yeah, but in the moment I was so in shock, and it was my first accident and my first car, and I didn't know what to fucking do, and I was just like, you know what, I just want to get this. My life is in the shitter right now, and I'm stressed out for other reasons, and I don't need this.
Mhm.
So I'm gonna do whatever I can, I'm gonna say whatever I can to smooth this over. And so I basically just admitted fault and was like, look, I'll just do whatever the hell you need me to do. Long story short, really, I owe them repair money, and that's about it. And
And you guys like signed a contract and shit too, so there's accountability on
yeah,
both sides.
yeah,
But yeah, man, that's just crazy. Like when I read that text this morning, the first thing when I saw you say, "Oh, I'm gonna work with this company,"
yeah, with Amazon, yeah.
I was just like, "Oh my!" Like, yeah,
Finally, yeah.
that's so awesome.
Yeah.
Like, you need this. And then I read the rest of it. I didn't even want to focus on it. That's why I said initially, I was like,
Right.
Cameron, that's awesome. Like,
Right.
I kind of meant it as like, look, yeah, that happened. That fucking sucks. But don't focus on that. Just
Yeah.
focus on securing
Right.
that gig.
Yeah.
Because that's gonna save your ass.
Yeah, no, big time.
So, yeah.
Yeah, especially since they're giving me a signing bonus that will take care of everything, you know, right off the bat. Like, I don't even have to really wait for my first paycheck.
Yeah,
So-
that's crazy. Did you hear about this?
Yeah, no,
yeah,
Amazon,
delivery-
no,
yeah,
Amazon
yeah.
is doing, like, so well for themselves that they can pump out bodies left and right, and the way that they get people in is they have a $3,000 to $2,000 signing bonus.
Holy crap.
Yeah.
Wow.
So I'm just getting a free $3,000 just for applying for this job.
Wow. Dang. So you saying I could apply for the job and then quit?
Well, I mean, apply for the job, collect your signing bonus, and then
Wait.
yeah, I mean, you
Work
could
like
do that.
work like
yeah.
a week and be like, hey,
Yeah.
you know what? It's not for me.
Yeah, because it comes in installments.
No.
It's not like they give you all $3,000 right off the bat.
Oh, that's good.
It's the
It's not
first
all-
$1,000 on the first day, and then after your first paycheck, it's like $1,000 to $2,000 after that.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
I quit after the first 1,000.
Right. Thanks for the free money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll say this though. I've known 3 friends who worked at the Amazon warehouse. All 3 of them made enough. One of them still works there. They all made enough money to live on their own.
Yeah.
All 3 of them.
Yeah. No, I have a friend in Michigan right now working at the Amazon. That's the reason why I applied there, because I would never apply at Amazon. I tell everybody this, and I will still stick by this, because I don't trust Jeffrey Bezos, okay? He's a genius. He is a entrepreneur, mogul genius, but I still don't fucking trust him. And I know he doesn't give a shit about his employees, because I hear so many stories about them not being treated well. Like, one being, instead of getting proper bathroom breaks, they get bottles to piss in.
Yeah.
And then instead of getting proper, like, actual, like, mental care for the stress of the job and everything, they get a cry booth.
I believe that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I heard about. I don't know how true this is, but like the toilets seats are apparently they're gonna make them at an angle, so you don't sit there
Yeah.
comfortably.
Yeah.
Like you just shit and then get the fuck on.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, everything
That's what I heard. I
about
don't know
everything
shit.
about Amazon, and even
that's-
they even kind of warn you about it
Yeah.
in their initiation or whatever, or their
So, like-
orientation. They say you're gonna be on your feet all the time.
Yeah.
You're not gonna have a moment where you're sitting down and relaxing, other than when you're off or on a break.
Right. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
And this is 10-hour shifts that I hired onto, so.
Yeah. That's money.
But
yeah.
$16.40 an hour,
Yeah.
and that's more than I've ever made.
Yeah. No.
So
And 10 hours a day.
yeah,
That's yeah.
that's what I should have been getting paid when I worked at that smoke shop. But no, they paid me under minimum wage and overworked me to make it seem like they were paying me a lot. But no, they weren't.
Yeah. Jeffrey Bezos, man.
Yeah,
Yeah. He's got more money than he needs. Also to the.
that divorce ain't doing anything to him.
The oh yeah. No.
That divorce ain't doing anything to him. He is laughing his way to the bank.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hell yes.
In the pandemic.
Sure, take half. I'll just get that half back in like 2 months.
such an evil laugh.
Oh, yeah,
When he like went sort of to space and then
Yeah.
like, came back down.
Yeah.
They asked him that question,
Yeah.
and he's just like, "Hell yes."
Yeah. Yeah, no,
Like,
like,
it's
but
like,
you can
oh.
totally see the difference.
This guy weirds me out.
Yeah.
Yeah, the comparisons to Lex Luthor
Yeah.
are pretty accurate.
Yeah.
And they're scarily
Yeah.
accurate.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's
No,
freakish
but like when
accurate.
you think about like when you try to compare them between like especially that experience when they went to space, like because I watched both of those live streams just to see two rich people going into space. Fuck
Right.
it, why not?
Right.
When I saw Richard Branson go into space, he was genuinely like interested, looking out the window, saying, "As a kid, I was always looking up at the stars, wishing this, and now I'm here as an adult, not even an astronaut. I'm here as an adult, and I was lucky and wealthy enough to do this because I worked my ass off to do it." You see Jeffrey Bezos, "Hey, let's play ping pong in this thing. Windows everywhere. No one's looking. No one's looking down at Earth getting a surreal like experience
Whoa,
or
that's
anything.
our home.
Yeah, no. Fucking Richard
Ping
Branson.
pong.
Yeah, Richard Branson sitting there. Holy crap! That's where I live. That is the Earth. Like he's like dumbfounded by this. And then fucking Jerry Bezos. Hell yeah!
Yeah.
We're gonna be doing this all the time. Yeah, that was fun. Yeah.
Weekend retreat
Yeah.
every week.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just nuts. The pandemic was a come up for him.
Oh yeah.
He's already on top of the world. The pandemic just.
Oh
I
yeah.
think about all the stuff I ordered on Amazon too.
Yeah, just no one
Yeah.
showered.
Yeah.
Couldn't go anywhere, so it really helped him out, and that's how all this
He
space stuff's
created
going.
COVID.
Yeah, he created COVID.
Right.
He is COVID.
I mean, that he would definitely be Lex Luthor.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
You said it yourself, dog. You said this was accurate.
Yeah, I did. I put it
Accurate
out there.
comparison.
I mean,
He just needs
an
to go.
entrepreneur that gets himself into technology and space tech and all that. I mean, sounds like Lex Luthor to me.
Yeah, going to space. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man. Yeah. All he needs is like a big tower in New York.
Yeah, and a power suit.
Yeah. Whoa.
That's probably
hold
what he's
on.
working on.
I gotta show you the photo of him like in like a robot suit. Have you seen? Yeah. That's
There
what
it is.
I was thinking of. Yeah.
He's
like,
Lex Luthor, everybody. We just looked it out.
This is the Matrix.
Jeffrey Bezos, we're on to you.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
So yeah, I'll have to show that to you guys.
Yeah.
I'll probably
Yeah, pop it up. Yeah,
Yeah,
pop it
well-
up on screen and we'll see it on the podcast.
That too.
That's
Yeah.
I'll do it there.
in front of Greg.
Right here, yeah. Covered Greg.
Remember Greg with it? Okay.
Greg's a little gun shy, but it has been a while since we've done one of these, and
Yeah.
he's quieter than ever.
Huh.
I think he's sad Patrick's not here, honestly.
Yeah, no, he
Or
Patrick's
patty-
his bed bug.
Patty
Bed bug.
cakes.
Yeah.
See, Patty Cakes too has some stories to tell, Like
Oh,
we
yeah.
all.
Oh yeah, he does. Yeah.
Yeah, he got not a new job, but
Promotion.
Promotion in his job.
so
Yeah.
he's working a lot.
Yeah.
Probably, I think that's why he's not here.
Probably the exact reason why he's not here.
Yeah, he's out there fucking making that dough.
Good man.
Dude. Oh, what have you been up to?
Me, this is a good question. I guess I've been busy, like getting random like one-off gigs, like
Nice.
photography stuff like
Nice.
that. So I got lucky there. I had a couple one-off like editing gigs as well. They were like weddings, and
Oh, nice.
they had somebody who films and edits them. They hired me to basically cut out all the crap.
Yeah, just
And
trim
then-
the fat basically.
Yeah, trim the fat.
Yeah.
They made me trim the fat, and then they made videos out. So I was getting paid to do that. So yeah, it's kind of just bouncing around doing gigs this
Yeah,
whole
little
time.
odd jobs here and there. Yeah.
Yeah, but I was getting more like this past month than usual.
Right.
Yeah, so it took up a lot of my like just time in general.
Yeah.
But I was doing that. I bought a jacuzzi, a new heater for my jacuzzi.
Yeah. There you
So-
go. Yeah. No, I missed that day. No, I was
Yeah.
not in a good mental state that day.
It works.
Yeah. No.
It's nice.
Yeah, I honestly regret not coming though because afterwards I felt like, dude, I need a soak.
Well, I was gonna say we just do it again.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
it's always an escape.
Yeah.
From home. So yeah,
Yeah.
we'll just do it again.
Don't feel bad for not coming that day because we had like 2 or 3 different people that we invited and they said yes they were gonna come and they all bailed.
Oh
Yeah.
fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So don't feel bad.
So it was just a sausage fest between you two. it was just two bros hanging out.
Honestly, yeah, this is 2 homies hanging out.
And
So that was good enough for me.
Hanging out in a hot tub. Because you're not
he was
getting.
in the pool.
Ah.
Yeah.
You know
I was
what?
in the hot tub.
Two dudes, one in a hot tub, one in a pool, cause we're not gay.
Yeah.
Yeah, what did I do? Oh, I heated up the pool. Because it heats up the pool as well.
Oh, nice.
I tried that out. Zach, you wanted to say something about that?
Dude,
pool?
I was like, cause when I hear heated pools, usually it's like, okay, yeah, they're heated, sure.
Yeah.
I fucking dipped my feet in the pool, and I was like, okay, so which one's the hot tub?
This is just a giant hot tub.
Yeah, without the bubbles. It kind of it did freak me out, but it was a shock.
Yeah, it's like it threw you off a bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, the pool's not supposed to feel this way.
Yeah.
But it did. It really heated up the whole pool. So
Like
That's dope.
that's good for like the winter.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I can have pool parties in the winter because the pool will be.
that's
good.
what I was excited about, because like we're almost at the the end of summer here.
Yeah.
And
Please don't say that.
I know.
Dude.
I love summer.
I know. I love summer.
This summer went by so fast, and it was actually kind of a mild summer.
It was.
Definitely some heat waves, but nothing.
We only got like serious heat waves like in the beginning of summer, and then like a little bit near the end.
And then in July, that's where the June gloom was happening.
Yeah, it was weird. We got like rainstorms and shit. I'm like, what? This is July. This should be like the hottest month.
I don't know. Usually, I always find August,
Yeah.
like second half July, August. Those are like the hot.
Yeah, that's where we hit records.
Yeah.
I mean, shit, Death Valley was hitting records this year, so there's that.
Pretty sure we almost all died in Salton Sea.
Oh, God.
Yeah,
That's
no,
right,
That
that
was
happened.
terrible.
That was.
Yeah, no, that was a fun experience, but also just.
It was
yeah.
terrible.
Okay, I'm
Yeah.
gonna say this. I had fun, but that town can burn in hell. that town can go
Yeah.
I told Vince this. I told him it was the worst film set I've ever been on.
Yeah.
And I wasn't saying that to him.
Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
could tell like right when I said it, he was like, oh, like he got kind of sad.
Right.
And I was like, no, it's not your fault. I'm literally just talking about the location. Like,
Yeah.
that shit
No, the
sucked.
film itself was great.
Yeah, no,
The idea was amazing.
I
like,
loved it.
Yeah.
And honestly, I had fun at that Airbnb.
It was a cool little spot.
That was fun as hell.
It was a
Yeah.
cool little
I
spot.
played little video games. We were talking, laughing, joking, eating
Yeah.
snacks. Like
Yeah.
that part was fun.
Yeah.
That city
Yeah.
get burned out.
Yeah, from the heat to the fucking god awful smell.
Oh, the whole area.
The horrible
smells like-
sulfur
yeah.
smell that you get.
And the worst thing were the bugs.
Oh,
There were
yeah.
bugs.
There were so many bugs, and there's a moment where, all right, so filming the process of filming this was kind of like doomed from the start. Like, so our major light sources, right when we go to film our first scene, everything's set up, we're all ready to go.
Yeah.
The lights go out. It's like shit. Okay, how are we gonna work around this? So we had these handheld lights, and there was one scene where me
Yeah.
and two other crew members had to hold these lights to light a specific spot in the camera. And now, what are bugs most attracted to?
Yeah.
And I'm not talking about just one type of bug or a June bug. I'm talking about like 40 different species of unknown, unidentifiable fucking little creatures that
Yeah.
fly and buzz.
Yeah.
The whole cast of Bugs Life.
Yeah, pretty much.
was on our
Yeah.
like.
So we're holding these things, and it's like a 45-second to a minute long, conversation or shot. So me and these two dudes are just getting destroyed
Just
by these
nailed.
bugs, and we gotta stay still
Yeah.
because we're the light source. That shit was absolutely awful. It made for some great laughs afterwards,
Right.
Because we survived.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
yeah, it felt like an alien movie, or what's that movie? Pitch Black with Vin Diesel.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Oh,
Where, like all the
yeah.
little, flying,
Yeah.
and they just like swarm you. It felt like that.
Yeah.
It
Just
felt
getting pelted with bugs.
so yeah, that shit sucks. Wasn't fun.
I'll tell you this. Though,
Hours were insane.
I'm happy there weren't a lot of like mosquitoes, bees, and wasps.
Yeah.
And nothing that
Yes.
can sting you.
Yeah, there was horseflies, but
Horsefly,
that was
yeah.
about it.
But those were
Yeah.
like the daytime.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
like moths, grasshoppers, crickets,
Yeah.
a shit ton of different little tiny ones that you haven't quite seen before.
Right.
Yeah, and then what are those the big ones? The cane flies. There's a lot of those.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It looked like locusts. Like they had locusts
Yeah,
out there.
yeah.
Yeah, I heard about that in the Bible. I don't think I've ever
Yeah,
seen
yeah,
the
no, there
locusts
was-
just flying around.
Yeah, that's usually like you see that in like the Middle East.
Yeah.
There was a video I saw like during I think it was like in the beginning of the pandemic, like just before everybody like shut down.
Mhm.
There was a video I saw on either Instagram or Twitter or something, and they were just like, "This is the Middle East right now," and it's just a swarm of locusts.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, so you're having the 3 plagues right now,
Yeah,
and you're on locusts. Just wait for the blood of the river of blood and the firstborn, and then you'll be good, right?
Yeah. I think them toads will.
It must be Passover. Like, holy shit.
Right. Shit, Middle
Yeah.
East seems like it's
Yeah.
going.
I know, you put-
apocalypse right now.
Quick, put some sheep's blood on your Humvee door right quick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sacrifice your firstborn.
Yeah.
No.
Right?
Yeah, that's great. But I will say this: I did have fun. I had fun roasting the town,
Yeah.
and also too, I didn't know the town was kind of popular, but I found out apparently like the desert hick area in Grand Theft Auto. Apparently
Yeah.
that was there.
Yeah.
I didn't know it was the same spot.
Yeah, it was the
That's
same
pretty
spot
cool.
because it was an art community, so they had that like clout or whatever, that recognition.
Yeah.
So the game was just like, fuck it, let's put it in the game.
Put it there.
Yeah,
Put it there.
yeah. Had I known, it was so bad.
And I did like the little art section. It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
It was.
And beautiful sunsets.
Oh yeah,
Like-
phenomenal sunset.
Like once it started cooling off around that time, and we just had like a minute to like breathe and like appreciate it. Like those were probably my favorite moments.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Smooth.
And I am happy that I had something to like. Sorry, I'm picking my nose. I did have something to focus on because the second day, you know, my dog died.
Right.
You know,
Right,
so
yeah.
like it was nice like being around, you know, a group of friends.
Right.
You know, filming, taking my mind off of
Right.
it.
Yeah.
So that was cool, even though it wasn't like pleasant, but
Right.
it still helped.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Being
and-
around your support system is always nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially going through a time like that. Yeah.
Yeah, and she lived a full life.
Oh,
Like,
fuck
long
yeah,
life.
dude. She-
That
Yeah, Nala was
too.
the best.
So Nala was a lab mix. You know, had a beautiful like kind of like tan olive coat. Super cute dog. Very,
Oh, yeah.
very, very protective, but also very smart. Like she would
Very
attack people.
protective.
Yeah, but
Every
she-
time, like, we would just play.
Yeah, she would just be like, hey, hey,
Yeah.
easy guys.
Yeah.
This is my boy right here.
Yeah.
And the cool thing about her was she literally like got to live through basically my major stages of life.
Yeah.
You know,
Really
'cause I was a little child when we first got her.
Yeah.
And then she saw me through high school all the way to now where I'm a 25-year-old man. So she got to like, I got to experience
with-
life
yeah.
and growth with her.
Yeah.
And I always had a special bond with her because she's, you know, she was always there during like my very intense drug-us moments. Where it was just me and her, and it's like, okay, no, you need to grab me.
Good.
Or like ground me, because I'm freaking out
Yeah,
right now, you know?
yeah.
So it's like, she was always kind of like a spirit guide to me in
Yeah.
that way, in like
Yeah.
a psychedelic way. Actually, it's kind of cool. I mean, it was an intense moment,
Yeah.
but I don't know if I told you guys this story. So, remember I kept going outside, you know? Like, the day it happened?
Oh, yeah.
And, you know, it's like 100+ degrees out there. Like, they were looking at me going like, Zach, why do you keep going outside?
Yeah.
And I knew she was going, like, I knew they were going to take her to the vet that day, but after the long night of filming, only
Right.
like 4 hours of sleep, I wasn't thinking about it at all. But for some reason, I knew I had to be outside. And I even turned around, I made a joke, I was like, oh, it's time to face the day.
Right.
And it turned off, heat, like, And we had this, like, really crappy abandoned 2-story, like, balcony next to our Airbnb.
That's
Yeah.
And I was just like, you know what, I'm gonna walk up there and just look, you know?
Yeah.
And the thing about the desert too, it's like there's just this stillness, like this quietness
Yeah.
that you can practically almost like touch.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Like, you feel it in your chest.
Yeah.
How quiet it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and it's just me out there, obviously, because it's fucking hot. I walk up the stairs, and then as soon as I put my hands on the ledge of the balcony, my phone rings. I take a deep breath because I just realized what that message
Yeah.
could be.
Yeah.
Like it was a purely like intuitive process like happening. I take my phone out, it's my dad in a group chat with my brother and I just saying, hey guys, so today Nala passed away,
Right.
yada yada. And I was like, okay.
That's the confirmation.
Put my phone away, and you know, right when I put my phone in the pocket, I shit you not, like I'm trying, like I'm holding back tears, like I feel myself,
Of course.
but I also like am accepting it. But like it's crazy, like the timing of how this happened. Right when I put my phone in my pocket, you know, just like getting kind of emotional, a fucking crow starts
Yeah.
like doing its crow thing. You know, they always say like crows are kind of synonymous with death.
Yeah.
Right when that crow started cocking, is that the set?
Cawing?
Cawing?
Cawing.
Yeah.
Cawing. Right when it started making a sound, doing its crow thing, it hit me like I like felt Nala's like spirit
Right.
like just go. Like I felt that kind of like
release.
that cut.
Yeah.
And yeah, I started bawling, you know, but it was like a good cry, like
Yeah.
good, like
Yeah.
you need to let that,
Yeah.
let that shit out.
Yeah.
And then 5 minutes passed by. I realized I've been sitting under a scorching sun for too
Yeah.
long for my white skin. I'm wearing a tank top,
Yeah.
I think, and I'm. Like obviously I want to be like with my friends, but it's like I couldn't just talk at the moment.
Yeah.
You know, it's like it's just I needed to be alone, but I didn't want to be in there because every time I look at the house, I just hear this like roar of laughter
Yeah.
and whatnot. And I'm like, fuck. Like
Everybody's having fun right now.
yeah, and it's like, damn, I don't want to be a Debbie Downer. Like, no one saw this coming. I kind of did, but fuck. I don't want to stay out here, though, because I think I'm going to die.
Yeah. The longer you
I'm
stay out
gonna
there,
join
yeah.
Nala.
Yeah.
So-
I think I was asleep for all of this.
Yeah,
I,
probably,
I was the only one who slept 8 hours. So I
Yeah.
think,
Yeah.
laughter. Oh, you're going through something.
You're just,
You're passed out.
you were, dude.
Yeah.
Your ability to tune all of it out is
Yeah.
astonishing.
Phenomenal,
That's
because
astonishing.
we were all over the place with noise.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, I was so mad at you guys, like, because we did that early morning shot. Not to, digress from the story too much, but like we were up at like 5 or 6 to get that early morning shot. Then we go back in. I fall asleep, and it's like 10:30 a.m. and everyone's like awake,
Yeah.
laughing. I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with you people? Like, and then later,
Yeah.
the whole Nala thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, I run in because I needed to grab a drink because I knew I didn't want to be in there, and I was just gonna pull up a chair in the shade and just like deal with my emotions. So I walk inside and immediately like people are going like, Zach, what's wrong? Like, why are you
Yeah.
outside? Are you crazy?
Yeah.
And I'm like holding back tears and shit. Like I can't even
They
talk.
know. A lot
Just,
of them,
I
right?
just want to get.
I couldn't even talk,
Yeah.
but like they're making fun, and,
Yeah.
and I'm just like, all right, maybe it's just better if I just say it and then leave. People will understand,
Right.
just so they don't think. I don't know.
Right.
Yeah, and I'm not
Right.
a type of person to try to like hide my shit. I
Right.
wear my heart on my sleeve, you know.
Right.
So I go to the fridge, I grab a drink, and I'm just like, my dog just died, and then like head to the floor and like beeline
Yeah,
down there.
right.
And I remember hearing AJ go like, "Oh man, now I feel like a dick."
That sounds like AJ too.
Yeah. So then I pull up a chair in the shade. It's still hot as fuck, but it's just like, okay. Just kind of breathe in. It's just like, all right. At least they know, so maybe I didn't say like, oh, just give me a... Actually, no, I think I did say I need a minute. My
Yeah.
dog just died. Boom. And you guys gave me that.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And eventually AJ came out, sat down. He didn't apologize. He
No.
just... I didn't want him to.
Right.
But he told me the same thing when my ex-girlfriend and I broke up. He's just like, hey, bro, like, waves.
Yeah.
Waves. And I knew exactly what he meant. I'm just like, yeah, waves. And then eventually, like, we started talking just because it's like I felt comfortable again.
Right.
And then fucking Chris Kyle comes rolling up, pulls out a 12-pack of Trulies, walks up, just sets them up. He has no idea, by the way.
Yeah.
But just that this whole process was so like intuitive. Like,
Yeah.
It was just a vibe, and it was kind of like humbling in a way. It kind of
Right.
brought me back closer to like my connection to the world and the universe and like my
Right.
spirituality. I know you guys aren't necessarily spiritual, but like to me it's like I am. And to me, like just the step by step of how it like happened, it was very healing
Yeah.
and perfect in a way.
Yeah.
And the last part of the story, which this one, I almost dropped my phone. It was so shocking. I go to the restroom, doing my business. I pull up Instagram, and the very first post is a buddy of mine, a buddy from DG Boxing.
Mm.
He has like an 8-year-old boy. He has a picture of this really cute husky, this baby husky, and he's like, "Welcome to our family, Nala," with a heart.
Oh.
I was like, dude, I'm getting chills thinking about it.
Yeah.
Because I know that's like this, like Nala's like spirit, like with our family, her connection with our family. The reason why she was so protective of Chris and I
Yeah.
was her goal was to have us grow up.
Yeah.
She's meant to be there with kids
Yeah.
and protect them. I
Yeah.
think that's like her intent. So when she died, the timing was perfect because it's like we're all grown up. Like the purpose of the relationship
Yeah.
is not needed. She's needed to another family, to a new little boy.
Right.
You know.
Right.
And oh man.
She reincarnated herself.
Yeah,
into-
it's basically like I
Yeah.
saw it as like an instant reincarnation. I could have been happier.
Yeah.
And when I went home and I told my folks that story, my mom started bawling, but because they were having like a hard time dealing with it too.
Oh, yeah.
Because Donald was a very big part
Oh,
of our
yeah.
family. But yeah, man.
I mean, shit. Ever since I've known you, you've had Nala. Like,
Yeah.
shit.
I was gonna say Nala raised you guys.
Yeah. Really though.
Yeah.
In a weird, messed up
Yeah.
way, but yeah, Nala raised you guys.
Yeah.
Every time we were having our little ghost hunts, Nala would sneak in the hallway and freak us out
Yeah.
and shit. What was that noise? Oh, it's just Nala.
Nah, that sounds
She's
right.
just like, what the fuck? But yeah,
Turn all the lights off and
Yeah.
shit. God damn it.
yeah, I'm glad I got to share that story on
Yeah.
on,
Yeah, that's
on this platform. Yeah, because that was tough, but it is what it is, and just the beautiful message that I got out of it, that helped me heal and
Yeah.
accept, that I couldn't ask for a better way for her
Right to go,
to
yeah.
her to go out. And then to see the post where it say "Welcome to our family," Nala, like just kind of reassuring, like what I
a
was.
full circle
It
moment.
was such a full circle moment. Like you can't write that shit.
Yeah.
Right.
Maybe you
yeah.
could, but maybe it has been written. But like in real time.
It's not as impactful. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. And it's interesting. Yeah, because it hit you when she passed. I think about my dog, or my Nala. Yeah, his name was Sebastian, and I had him when I was elementary all the way up to Cerritos College. And when he passed, for me it was kind of like, okay, well he doesn't have to suffer anymore, because he was like,
That's usually always the first.
yeah,
First thing,
Yeah.
and that
yeah, because when he was 13, he was struggling. Where Nala seemed fine, but mine was struggling. But for me, it hit more like the day before he passed, because it wasn't like hey, I'll see you later. I was like, you know what, I'm gonna spend the night with you. We slept in here.
Yeah.
That's when it hit the most.
Because it's like, oh, this is my last night with this
Yeah,
fucking
yeah,
dog.
Yeah, it is the last time we're gonna do that. So that.
Yeah, I did that with Stitch too.
Oh, see, so there you go.
Yeah.
So it's interesting that that's when it hit me, but afterwards, because I had already let it out, I was.
You were
fine.
okay.
Yeah, you didn't get that chance because shoot, you're out here with us working.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know.
I did have a final moment with her because, like I said, I did know ahead of time that Saturday was the day.
Yeah.
Right.
It's just because we were working and the long hours, I completely forgot.
Yeah.
But yeah, like right before right
Yeah,
before
I
he
came
came
pick you
over,
up. Yeah.
I was just kind of chilling with Nala, and I teared up a little bit, just
Yeah,
kind of said
it
my
was
final goodbyes, but it still wasn't like real yet,
Yeah, it's
Then
still
they
that
sink in.
Yeah.
It didn't
Yeah.
sink. Okay, yeah. We're
Yeah.
here. For me, it sunk. Because that was the other thing too. It was the day before I had a tournament, so I knew he was gonna pass while I was at the tournament. So for me, yeah, that was
the moment.
Yeah. So I figured,
Yeah.
something like that would happen. Like, yeah, and it was probably a good thing I didn't go back there too, because I would have been like,
Just distraught.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I would have been like, goodbye, see you later, great to know you, sort of deal. And when other people hear that, yeah, that's not gonna help, So it was probably a good thing, but yeah, it's. I'm glad you got that moment.
Yeah.
Though. That's good to hear.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Like, they're just fucking dogs, They're
Yeah.
just pets, but I don't know, like.
No, they're
Are
souls.
They're souls,
Yeah. They're.
Yeah, that's my thing. But
Yeah.
are they?
I
are
just
they
watched. Well, it's
dogs?
last
They're
night.
not just pets.
Last
Yeah.
night I watched the episode of Brooklyn Nine-Nine, and Rosa was given what's the weird little guy's name? Whatever. His dog just died, and he's going through it, and her type of personality is going like, it's just a dog, So that's why I said it's just like, yeah, if you want to think about it, it is just a dog,
Right.
But nah, they are so integrated
Oh,
and a
yeah.
part of the family,
Oh, yeah.
a part of the energy of the household, a part of the energy of you.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's also
part of
just
your
like
development as well.
Yeah, 100%.
it's just a dog, but it's my dog.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's the other thing.
Yeah.
Like if this is sound sad, but if a dog got hit by a truck somewhere in Massachusetts, I'm gonna be like, oh, that's sad. And then I'd move on about it. But if my dog got hit by
Yeah.
okay, that's a different story.
Yeah,
so
100%.
I think when it's yours, it takes on a whole meaning. It's not
Yeah.
even just a dog. It's
Right.
like this is the best dog out of all the
Your
other
best
dogs.
friend,
suck.
really.
Yeah.
Man's best friend.
Exactly.
Yeah. Every other dog is just a dog.
Yeah.
But no, not this one.
Yeah,
This one
no.
is.
I mean, I'm preparing for Shadow right now because she's
getting up there.
yeah,
dude.
she's 10 years old now,
Yeah.
and for shepherds, that's
That's
one hell of an age.
Yeah.
Like Chief didn't even last that long. Chief was a Doberman Pinscher Shepherd, and I think he died at the age of like, I think 7, something like
Wow.
that, 8. Yeah.
Yeah, bigger dogs just don't have as long as a
Yeah,
life
well, it was
cycle.
mostly because he had cancer, and
Oh, well,
yeah, then, like all my. That's the thing though. It's like all of my dogs died horribly. Like it's like it was so traumatizing.
I don't mean to laugh.
No, me. Yeah, exactly. Like it's kind of fucked up, but it's funny at the same time. But it's like the only dog that didn't really die tragically was my dog Sandy. But it was a really tragic moment for me because I was a child. I was like, I think I was first grade at the time. It was before I met you, and I was alone at that time. I had no friends at all. Everybody made fun of me because of my warts on my fingers. Remember that shit?
Oh, yeah.
No, it was worse than tincture at Wonderland because literally the entire school, it was a small, close-knit school. So when somebody picked on you, everybody picked on you.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's like I was the one in the sandbox all by myself, and then when I found out my dog died, I was just beside myself, and I was the one that found her, like, like injured, her legs gave out on her, and she couldn't get up. I was like, come on Sandy, let's go, come on, let's play. And she just laid there. I'm like, why aren't you getting up? Come on Sandy, come on. And I went up to her and I tried to help her up, and she winced, and I was like, fuck.
Such a terrible sound.
Yeah.
It's not just like, oh, I stepped on your paw. It's like,
No.
hey. It's like no.
Yeah, I can't do this, no, please.
Yeah. That's not,
Yeah.
dude.
Yeah, and I told my mom and dad about it, and sure enough, that weekend, like, she got we had to put her down, and the next day at school, I was just bawling my eyes out. Nobody gave a shit. Yeah, right?
I'm just
But
glad
then,
they
like,
didn't clown you some more.
No,
That's what I was afraid. I afraid you were
Yeah,
going to school.
no, they literally just left me alone.
Try
Yeah,
it.
yeah, no, they literally left me alone. I was a very traumatized child.
Definitely.
I have a lot of trauma in my life.
it's the wart crybaby. Everybody
yeah.
laughing.
Yeah.
I'm glad they didn't do that.
Yeah,
Because that would have sucked.
Yeah, no, I was called Toad Boy, I was called Witchy Hands, I was called, I was called so many names. Yeah.
So I'm gonna change your name in my phone to Witchy.
And
I'm so sorry that happened.
Yeah, no, it's...
See, I was always on both sides. Like, I've been bullied and I've also been the bully.
Right.
And it's kind of like a vicious cycle.
Yeah.
Yeah, you like, what do they say? Hurt people hurt people. So if somebody bullies
Yeah.
you, you end up taking it out on somebody else sort of deal.
Yeah, and then I think it was around, I won't name his name, but, one kid that we would pick on sometimes.
I know.
Okay.
I know who you're talking about.
Well, yeah, out of respect for him. But I think it was there was one time, we were just kind of just fucking with him. And something, hit me. I just thought, I don't like how I feel about this.
Yeah, something
And,
just clicked.
and that was just, one of the first things, that's started the cycle of, being a kind person.
Right.
But, I hate the fact that there was any bullying in any situation ever, but it's an important tool sometimes, for character building.
It is.
It's not necessary.
It's not necessary, but it can, if you come out of it the right way.
Yes.
Because there's a lot of people, and I could have easily been one of those people who have sunk into their trauma and ended up killing themselves. And
Right.
that's where a
Or
lot
fuck
of...
others.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So it's there's two sides of that coin,
Yeah, and I'm not a validating bullying.
Oh, no,
that's why I said it's not necessary.
yeah.
But if it has happened to you, it can be a good tool to build on.
Because
if
sometimes you really are just being an idiot.
you're
Sometimes you really do look dumb, and people are telling you that.
And
But
there's just a lot to learn from that experience once you become more mature, and you just grow up.
Yeah.
And it sucks. It's awful, but
it's emotionally breaking.
it's traumatic.
Yeah, but unfortunately, it's real. It happens, and it happens when you're an adult too. But if it happened to you as a kid, you're at least aware of it. And
Right.
know how to
Yeah.
handle it. Yeah, that was my thing. Was the good thing about being bullied was it taught me how to handle it.
Right.
You know, and unfortunately, the only way I found out to handle it is just fight him.
Be strong and fight him. Yeah.
Yeah, but I gotta tell one story about that. About bullying. I was in high school, and I was on the freshman football team, and we had a 17-year-old freshman on the team. So obviously he's the star player. He's a grown ass fucking man.
Yeah. Yeah.
But he used to bully everybody. He was an equal opportunist bully. Like, everybody caught his shit. But I played his position, so he kind of had it out for me, which sucked. And there was a time where like I was running, quarterback threw it, I caught it, and then guy pushed me out of bounds. Coaches blow the whistle, so play's dead, right? He comes up and tackles me. Yeah, after the
sounds about what happened to me too. Holy shit, yep.
Yeah. Well, he did that to everybody, right?
One of the reasons why I have a fucking bad knee.
Hey, we'll get in that story now.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, he did that to me, and then he did it again in another practice, and I was like, nah, fuck this shit. And so I had just done wrestling for the first time in middle school, so I learned a couple things.
Yeah.
And they taught a wizard, which you kind of grab on the arm, hip in. And so that's what I did. He went to tackle me, and I dropped the ball. Wizard kicked over, and I landed on top of him. And I grabbed his helmet and started cussing. Don't tell the whistle was blow the blade fucking day. Threw his head on the ground.
His face is just smashed. Rip his helmet off, but its head's still stuck in there.
It turns into a freaking invincible moment.
I know, yeah, exactly. I thought about taking him up, but I was just mad. I was just slamming his head on the ground. I got up and walked away mad.
Yeah.
And then he stood up and grabbed my face mask, and then I grabbed his, and we started spinning in circles.
Right.
And then the team all ran in and broke it up.
Right.
And then for the rest of practice, he was cussing at me, and I was like, "Shut up, dude."
Right. I kicked your ass.
Yeah, like I already embarrassed you. You can shut up.
You're decapitated.
Yeah, and then we went to the locker room, pounded up, and been friends ever since.
I gave you a fucking concussion. Don't even fucking play.
But yeah, no. Then we went to the locker room. I earned his respect because I stood up for him, and then we've been friends ever since.
Yeah.
And he still kept bullying everybody else. But he left me alone.
Yeah.
And that was enough for me. So I think
there's prison rules right there. You chose the biggest man on the yard and shipped the fuck out of him, and no one fucked with you ever did.
That's kind of what happens.
Yeah, well, I mean, high school's like fucking prison, you know?
In a way, you really they lock you in there.
Everybody has, like, cliques, and you're locked in there for 8 hours a day, and...
Don't nobody want to be there.
Yeah.
Some of those people do become future felons and criminals.
Exactly.
But yeah, I learned that, and
I think most of them
friends. Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
A lot of them do.
There's so many people like thinking about it that are like criminals, but I mean aren't caught. But
that too.
Yeah.
Everyone's doing some sort of criminal activity.
Yeah, but I think about like the ones who like been to jail for this stuff, and and they like deserved it. You know, they did something they actually deserved.
It's just like my coworker David. Like, so we're in the locker room, changing, get ready, and I was like, hey man, I forget there's something happening on the weekend. I was like, so what are you doing, man? I think it was like Christmas, and he's just like, oh, we're gonna hang out with the kids, yada yada.
Right.
I was like, oh cool, how old are your kids? And he's like, oh, like 10, one's 12 and 13. I'm like, oh, yeah, that's a rough age. That's a rough age. And he's like, yeah, it's right. It's the age before they become criminals. Dude, that shit happened.
Oh, fuck.
I was laughing so hard.
I mean, you're not wrong. They start getting ideas of doing some shit. I mean, when I was that age, I was doing some dumbass shit, so...
Yeah. It's just funny.
That's really funny as always. So.
Yeah.
So, I'd say all that to say this. Bullying sucks, but you do learn how to deal with them.
Yeah, and you can either be one side of the coin where you deal with it, or you be on the other side of the coin where it affects you for your whole life, and you never get out of that funk.
I'll admit, I think I let a lot of people get away with it, particularly in middle school.
I did too.
I think about man, I really should have cracked him in his mouth. I don't know why I didn't do it.
There's a couple times the same with me, but I let it go because I felt it really wasn't worth it. I was already an angry child.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
I was like, there was like a couple times where it's just like, damn, like, what if I straight up just hit that dude in the face? Like, it started a fight.
Yeah.
You know what I learned? When you do, they usually stop bullying everybody else. you end up saving a bunch of other people,
Yeah.
unfortunately.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they realize they're not as tough.
Yeah, that's it. You know, they do it. They bully you to feed their own ego.
Yeah.
And they usually pick people that they think won't stand up to them.
Mm-hmm.
If you stand up to them, then it's like, oh crap, my gig. They caught me. My gig's up.
Yeah.
The gig's up. You know. And so then they end up stopping bullying other people. But
Yeah.
I hate that it has to come to that. But you know, I heard a wise man say, "You gotta have an ass kicking for the evil man, because that's the only language that they understand."
Exactly.
Wise words to live by.
Yep.
Which did a certain type of evil not get his ass kicked this last Sunday?
Oh man, shall we get into that? I
Let's
didn't
do
even
it.
watch it, and I didn't even really want to watch it, but at the same time I did. You know, like, but I didn't want to pay for it, and I didn't want to. I don't know. Like, I just wanted to see the highlights, and I still didn't see the highlights. I was in a whole funk. It was a whole thing.
I didn't pay for the pay-per-view, but I did watch the highlights. And thankfully, because they talked about it on ESPN and the whole highlights were on YouTube. Because I thought, because it's Showtime, they weren't going to show everything.
Right.
Because it was a pay-per-view. No, they showed everything.
Oh yeah.
They showed
No,
everything.
YouTube doesn't give a shit. It's
Yeah.
like they'll play. I watch full fights sometimes. They'll cut a lot of the like fat in the fight, you know, where they're just dancing around and stuff. But I mean, you still get the full fight.
You get the action moments.
Yeah.
You know. And first off, we were just talking about bowling, and Jake Paul is like, you know, he started like this foundation of like boxing bullies or whatever,
Oh, yeah.
basically like teaching kids how to defend themselves and whatnot, and that's awesome.
That's cool.
I think that's really cool.
I just fear that everybody in his class is bullies, and they're going
Oh,
to school
yeah.
just beating up little kids.
Because I mean, he's that way. He's the bully, you know.
Yeah,
So
that's
what do you
what-
think his fan base is gonna be?
Yeah.
A bunch of other little shits.
Yeah, it's just like the way he acts, you know, like to other, like the way he talks to other people, like it's like, yeah, dude, like even if it's fake, the fact that like your like your attitude and the way you go about things is still creating opportunities for kids to like learn how to defend themselves, or maybe learn how to fuck other kids up.
Yeah.
Whatever. Like it's still giving kids like something to do, and I think that there's admiration in that. But I don't feel like it's 100% genuine on his side.
No.
I think it's just a way to balance out his act.
Yeah.
But getting
It's
to
a way for him to save face.
yes, you know, yeah.
Yeah. Because he's probably realizing how much of an asshole he really is sounding like. So
No,
he's-
I think he knows 100%.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
Yeah, he says, you know,
Yeah.
I'm a troll. I like
Yeah.
trolling. So he
Yeah.
knows.
He
Yeah.
knows. But let's talk the fight. What did we think about it?
Yeah. I need to hear you guys' opinion on this.
Let's just say the build up to this fight, like especially that last week,
Yeah.
fight week,
Yeah, this
was so much fun.
this is the best build up for a Jake Paul fight.
Yeah,
I
like
mean, after those interviews that I saw, those face-offs that I saw, I was
So
hyped
funny.
for it. Yeah, I was hyped.
They made a whole song. Beat your ass.
Yep.
Beat your ass.
Yeah.
Bro, that's a whole song.
the antics on both sides were just so well done, and going into it, I kind of felt like Jake Paul was gonna win. Cause just I know how Tyron can choke in a fight. You know?
Yeah, and
I-
he's a grappler primarily.
Yeah.
Just like Ben Askren. Granted,
Yeah.
I do think he's a better striker.
Oh,
than Ben
100%.
Oh yeah, 100% better striker. He's
Yeah.
he can definitely have a
But
stand-up
the-
game.
But
This-
it's primarily a
This
grappler.
week though, I was 100% convinced Tyron is gonna murder this guy.
Yeah, that's right.
Just his comfortability.
Yeah.
It seemed like Jake
Confidence.
Paul. The confidence was there. He was clearly in shape.
He was actually training. He was training with Mayweather.
Yeah.
And he was hitting the pads with one of Mayweather's boys. You know how they do like the kind of like fast, rapid tap tap thing?
Yeah.
Very, very difficult to get down.
Oh, yeah.
Tyron was doing it.
Yeah.
Like,
He's got the rhythm.
a little stiff, but the rhythm was there. And
Yeah.
when I saw that, I was like, oh shit. Like, if the dog of Tyron comes out, I think he's gonna fuck Jake Paul.
Yeah.
So all of a sudden,
Jake's in trouble.
my fascination, my curiosity for the fight was at an all-time peak, to where like I was like when they were walking out to the ring, my hands were getting clamped.
Oh, wow.
I was just like, dude, this is exciting.
Right.
Like
Which means they promoted well.
they promoted
They did.
well. They sold
They
me,
got you,
man. They
yeah.
got me. Like
Yeah.
I was just like I was into it, dude. And the first round happens, and I'm like, okay, Tyron doesn't look bad. Jake Paul looks kind of the same. Jake Paul's not a bad boxer. That's definitely what
He has fundamentals.
he has fundamentals down. He makes a lot of crucial mistakes that if he was fighting a real boxer,
They would capitalize.
they would capitalize on
Oh
it.
yeah.
And Tyron did on two occasions, I want to say, where he did the right thing. And Tyron is not that bad of a boxer either.
Right.
The problem is the same thing I was saying earlier. Tyron choked.
Yeah. Okay.
He pressed forward the entire fight,
Mm.
but didn't do anything. He had the big moment in the 4th round where he almost sent Jake flying out of the fucking ring.
Oh,
it was
yeah.
awesome, dude.
Yeah.
My dad can't stand Jake Paul.
Yeah.
He literally gets out of his chair, puts his middle finger to the TV. It just says, "Fuck
Yes.
you!" It was great.
Yes.
It was great. I was like,
Yes,
"Dad."
I can totally see your dad doing that too.
It was so funny.
Oh,
I had to tell him, like, yo, calm down. You're gonna give yourself a stroke.
Oh, yeah, like an aneurysm or something. Fuck.
But I'm not gonna lie, I was kind of feeling the same way. I was like, fuck you. You know, like, finally, Jake Paul got hurt.
Yeah.
But Tyron did not capitalize whatsoever on that momentum.
Damn.
He kept pushing forward, but Jake, using different, angles, nothing crazy. His
Nothing
gas tank.
fancy.
No,
Yeah.
like he's a moderate boxer.
Yeah, like I said, he has the fundamentals.
Yeah.
But that's about it.
His gas tank wasn't there. He was completely gassed, which is why I was like, Tyron, fucking, you hurt him bad like a minute ago.
Yeah.
His footwork is completely gone. Cut the distance, fucking just take his body, like
Yeah.
just tear him apart. But no, nothing. He allowed Jake Paul to recover and get back to, simple fundamentals, and won the last couple rounds. So I mean, props to Jake Paul for getting hurt and to be able to survive and then
Right.
go back.
Hold his own.
Hold his own. But also, I don't think he's a better fighter than Tyron.
No.
I think Tyron can win that fight.
Oh, you mean like
yeah.
in boxing? Sorry, you said
It-
fighter, and I think everything.
But
in boxing,
okay.
yeah.
I think Jake Paul has like sort of better fundamentals, but I think as just a complete like what it takes
As
to
a
be
package, yeah.
as a package, Tyron can win that fight.
Yeah.
He can, and he had opportunities to do so to even get him out of there, but for some reason he was just gun shy.
Yeah.
And that could be because Jake Paul hits hard, and Jake Paul was landing on him.
Yeah.
There's some clean moments where it was like, hey, that was nice.
I mean, I'm not going to deny the power of Jake Paul because he has been working out. He has been building his body up. He is a heavyweight, technically, so
He's a good guy.
Yeah, he's got to have some kind of power behind his punches. They can't not, hurt,
Right. Yeah. Also, too, I remember watching some of the highlights I saw, and Tyron looked like an MMA fighter in a boxing match because
Right.
he was very linear. Most boxers, they say square up.
Mm-hmm.
Usually means square up.
Yeah, shoulder
He-
square.
He was kind of here, almost like Taekwondo.
yeah, and that's how a lot of UFC fighters think.
Yeah.
That's how they square up because a lot of them are,
Well,
they are ready for kicks
For
or
kicks.
elbows or
Yeah,
whatever.
this is great for kicks.
Yeah.
You don't
And this
always
is great in MMA.
when in boxing it's actually a flaw to be
To be
square.
completely square. Yeah.
You wanna have that stance. Where Tyron did though, like he was I don't know, he was kind of all over the place.
Yeah, it was kind of like a straight line. Like, boxers are a little bit square here. You'll never see a boxer bounce side to side like a Bruce Lee or like
No.
a Adesanya where they bounce
Yeah.
side to side. No, they're a little bit square. Not all the way. They're not standing like horse stands.
Well, yeah, because that's how you how you
Yeah.
get fucked up.
Yeah.
But they're definitely more square than those who kick.
Yeah.
And Tyron fought like somebody who's about to throw a kick.
Right.
And I think
Probably because of instinct.
it definitely. When you've had an illustrious UFC career that he has, they say fight your strengths, train your weaknesses.
Yeah.
He fought what he knew,
Yeah.
and what he knew was that was the mixed martial arts.
Mhm.
You can tell he trained boxing, and you definitely see those elements when he's throwing his punches.
Yeah.
But
And he's quick too.
yeah, he is
He's a
quick.
quick, powerful striker, which is it's like, dude, if you literally just throw, Jake Paul's there to get hit.
Yeah.
Yeah,
One of the big things, this is very amateur of Jake Paul to do, is when he would throw big shots, he'd be looking at the ground.
Oh,
so like
yeah.
he doesn't
That's
have
a big
the
mistake.
he doesn't have the discipline
It's a tell.
to keep the eyes on target.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a tell.
So yeah, an amateur thing, big mistake that Jake Paul does, and he did it a lot in this fight, is he looks at the ground when he's throwing a big punch.
Right.
And this leaves you very open. Like if he was in there with somebody who really knew what they were doing,
Yeah.
and like is skilled, they would take advantage of that.
Yeah.
And they would actually look to set that up. It's like, all right, so what kind of feints, what kind of shots can I throw to get that reaction out of Jake Paul where he takes his head out, his focus off of me.
Yeah.
How can I set that up? And then I'm gonna go for that, land that big shot, boom, 9-9.
Yeah.
That's what a real boxer does.
Yeah.
You know?
That's the mentality of a boxer.
That's
the game
that's,
plan.
that's a smart fighter,
Yeah.
who looks for openings. And I can see just a little bit of that in Jake Paul, like he is feinting and whatnot. And I think he is fighting with his brain.
Yeah.
But it's just I don't know. It's hard to tell what kind of level he's at without fighting like an actual boxer.
Right.
Which if he fights Tommy Fury, that's like an actual boxer because he has
An actual record, yeah.
he has an actual record. But then again, the fight we saw on Sunday, it wasn't that impressive. Like it should have been a much easier fight
Right.
for what it was. So it's like, how good is Tommy Fury actually?
Right.
That's true.
There's just a lot of questions.
My thing with him is at least he's a boxer. I think if Jake fights a boxer in boxing, that's it.
It'd be his most credible opponent yet.
Yeah,
for sure.
And he for the longest like I don't want to fight a boxer. I don't want to fight a boxer. Now he's like, I want to fight Canelo, and I'm like, oh boy. Yeah.
Please,
Yeah, I'm like,
please let Canelo just knock his ass out. He's never gonna do it because
No,
Canelo
no.
doesn't even know who Jake Paul is.
Yeah.
No.
Like Jake Paul's not even on Canelo's radar at all.
At R.
Yeah,
At
but-
R.
At all.
At R.
But Jake Paul made a scary what was it, analysis, I guess. He was like, I'm the biggest prize fighter right now. And I'm like, he's right.
He is right.
He's right. He's literally like how Mike Tyson was the biggest prize fighter in his era. Muhammad Ali was the
It's
biggest
just
in
because
his
he
era.
sells tickets. That's
it. That's it. But that's all it
is.
takes.
That's all it is.
Yeah.
That's all it takes.
And it's like, that shouldn't be all it takes,
Yeah,
Like, it
so
should
it is.
also
It
be
really
off
is.
of your skill and your record and, like, just.
He is taking
Your prowess.
social media because remember, Jake Paul is one of the Paul brothers have a huge platform on YouTube.
Oh, yeah, no,
So-
they've always had social media in the lock. Like,
Yeah.
they've had.
Millions and millions and millions of followers and people that
Yeah.
are like diehard
Yeah,
fans
for
too.
years before they even decided to go into boxing.
Yeah, and the only reason they wanted to go into boxing was because they knew they could attract numbers.
Yeah.
They knew that it's like, oh wow, these guys are actually going to fight. We want to see them fight because not only do they have a huge fan base, they also have a huge amount of haters. And
Yeah.
nothing pays the bills more than having a bunch of haters wanting
Right.
to see you get knocked the fuck out.
Yeah.
So they're brilliant. They're
Yeah.
brilliant. They completely
They're marketing geniuses.
abused and used the system of their platform to create massive revenues,
exploited the system,
massive
yeah.
amounts of attention.
Yeah.
Fuck, I was actually into the fight. I was
Yeah.
like, dude, okay, this is like,
Yeah.
it felt real, like a real fight. You were kind of saying when Dalton was going feed, it makes you think like, oh, okay, so are they not really going for it? Are these fights fixed?
Yeah.
I would say this one it felt like a real fight. Could have Tyron maybe taken an extra wad of cash to not throw volume?
Knockout.
Did they maybe have an agreement how many punches you could throw?
Because
Who
we only
knows?
see what's on camera.
I mean, boxing.
We don't see what's off camera,
Yeah.
Boxing's
So
always been a
what I was saying
tough
to
sport,
Zach
so.
earlier when you were when we were on a break, I was saying that these fights just seem like there's a moment where they talk to each other and they're like, look, this is a big spectacle already. We're making tons of money off of this. Why don't we just have fun? Like, I know I've been talking shit, you've been talking shit, and we kind of get each other riled up, and that's part of the game, but let's just have fun. And it kind of takes the fight out of their heads, and they start just palling
I
around
just
and
think that-
making those, mistakes and stuff like that,
with the amount of eyeballs though on this the magnitude of this event, I feel like that would be exposed on either side. You know?
Yeah, I mean, I guess, but I just feel like the energy of it, isn't the way that Tyron was coming into it, and then hearing how lackluster it was, because Tyron's a smart fighter, regardless if it's MMA or not.
But
He's a smart fighter. He'll capitalize regardless. He's done that in his MMA fights. He gets a good punch in, and then he'll capitalize with a grapple,
Yes.
and he'll take him down.
Yeah, he's not used to landing big shots. Oh, let me set up this combination.
Yeah.
Let me start working.
Yeah.
So on that point, that's why I don't think it was fixed, and I do think it was a legitimate fight. That's just the way Tyron's mentality is as a fighter, is to land that big shot, and kind of just put pressure, because that's kind of what he would do.
Right.
As soon as he landed a big shot, he would sort of hold, you know,
Right.
or just put his body weight on it.
Well, because it's
Basically,
an instinct to take down.
Yeah.
Yeah, I will say he had the cleanest clinches I've ever seen in boxing. Because he was wrestling.
Yeah.
Those were wrestling clinches. He was gonna throw them.
He did show he was physically stronger than Jake.
That's true.
That's for sure.
I will complain about this though. When he knocked Jake into the rings, I don't know how he didn't just boom, 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 boom. That's
Yeah,
what I don't know why
yeah,
he didn't just
yeah.
finish up there.
No, that's what makes me think that there's
I'll
like
give you that.
because like Tyron
Yeah.
would
Yeah.
have capitalized on a moment like that.
Yeah.
Like knowing him as a fighter
Well, yeah,
and seeing his past fights, he would have capitalized on something
Yeah,
like
just
that.
like,
When a
look at
fighter
the-
starts to go down, he runs at him and goes for it.
And it wasn't a knockdown either because he went into the ropes.
Yeah.
So he really could have just punched him through
Yeah.
the ropes
Yeah.
You know, and
and have the ref stop him.
Yeah.
And he didn't. And that's where I'll give you that.
Yeah.
I'll give you that in that he
Yeah, there's
was
just a
done.
lot of moments that you're talking about that like he isn't capitalizing, and it's just making me think this like there's something
Behind
else.
the
Yeah,
curtains.
yeah, there's something else that we're not seeing, that they're like conversations we're not seeing.
Yeah, I kind of wish his corner told him to throw more jabs because Jake Paul literally just beat him off of just landing more jabs.
Right.
Yeah, so it's kind of like if you just touch somebody in the face.
he landed a couple good
Well,
combinations.
combinations.
Yeah, as long as you get points, that's all that matters in some points and like some parts of the fight.
Well, yeah, it's just like my dad kept saying, Tyron won the fight. He was aggressing the whole time. It's like, just because you're the one on the front foot and you're pushing forward, you're pushing the pace technically, but you're not doing anything with it, that doesn't win you points.
No.
If the other guy's scoring on you with little, shots here and there,
Yeah.
but he's landing more at a higher volume, at a higher rate, and you're the one pressing forward, but you're not returning it,
yeah.
that other guy's gonna win the fight.
Yeah.
That's what boxing is.
Yeah.
Hit and don't
Yeah.
be hit.
Well, there was a couple like fights that we've seen, like prelim fights, where that kind of shit happened, where like there was a intense fight and we thought it was gonna go one way, and the judges scored another way, and then we looked at like the breakdown of everything, like, oh, he landed all those jabs, he landed all those body
Yeah,
shots,
that's
he
what it
did
was.
all that,
Yeah.
like he worked more. Yeah, the other guy was like landing hard shots and like getting him, down a couple times, but the other dude was just pop shotting and landing, and he just wasn't dodging enough. He wasn't missing. Yeah.
He's just
Yeah.
collecting points.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll give you this. If this was the streets, Woodley won because he rocked him.
Yeah.
You know.
And that fight would have been like if it was
Yeah.
like a street
Yeah.
fight, because
Yeah.
then I think Woodley would have pounced him,
Yeah.
got on top of him, probably just started like
Yeah.
elbowing or
Yeah.
choke him out or
Yeah.
something.
Yeah, even if it was just boxing in the streets, you
Yeah.
know, he was the one who rocked him. But because it's, they're scoring and whatnot, Jake Paul lands 100 of these,
Yeah.
and Tyron Woodley lands one that rocks you. Jake Paul technically wins because he landed
Yeah.
a bunch of these.
Yeah.
Granted, in a fight, a bunch of these ain't gonna fuck you up too much. As you saw, Tyron Woodley looked fine,
He
where
looked
Jake Paul
completely
looked
Yeah, he
fine.
was fresh.
This is the first time I've seen Jake Paul look a little fucked up after a fight.
Yeah.
You know? So yeah, if you base it off of that, yeah, the way Jake looked, the way Tyron
Face
looked.
card.
Yeah, face card, yeah. If you base off the face card and didn't look at the fight and just saw them, you'd be like, oh yeah, that black guy won.
And that's what
Tyron won. Yeah.
and that's what I'm trying to say. Like that's what was frustrating is like credit to Jake, he got the W. I do think because of the inactivity on Tyron's side, Jake did win. I do
Right.
think he won. But it's frustrating because I know Tyron can win.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was a fight he could win.
He could've won,
He
yeah.
not saying easily, but after that big moment and the way like how gassed Jake looked,
Yeah.
if there's any other guy who like really knew the game of boxing
Yeah.
and knew that scent of blood, not saying Tyron doesn't, he's a fucking fighter.
Yeah.
Jake Paul would have went away.
Yeah.
And that's why Jake Paul doesn't want to fight like a real guy under the on
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
big stage because he'll get gassed
Yeah.
and the guy will hit that killer switch and
Well,
get
they're
you out
not
of there.
fighting full like rounds, right? Like full championship
No,
regulation
they
rounds.
only fought 8 rounds.
Yeah, exactly.
Which is weird because for a pay-per-view,
It's usually 12, right?
if there's no belt, it should have at least been 10 rounds.
10 rounds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it made no sense.
Yeah.
And then considering they had people with belts fighting underneath them on the same card.
Yeah.
And they're fighting full 15 rounds if I remember correctly. So
Yeah.
that's why it kind of doesn't make a whole lot of sense.
But yeah, the chick fight, that was a 12-round fight.
Yeah, there you go.
And the fight before that was 10 rounds.
Yeah, so yeah, that didn't make a lot of sense, but
Overall, it was a fun night of entertainment.
Right.
I'm excited. I was excited about the fact that the promotion and the shit talk actually got me interested and like curious about like what's actually going to happen. I was satisfied. I don't feel like we got robbed out of, you know, a Paul investment. Like it was a fun night.
Yeah, and because it was Showtime instead of Triller, they really did a lot of stuff. They like brought cameras to their house and talked about their pre-fights at home. You know?
And there's fights back to back. Like it wasn't like, oh, I gotta watch this shit music performance.
Yeah.
You know, like it was that was the worst thing I've ever seen. Like that.
Yeah.
And then for the main event to end in one round of a possible fixed situation.
Yeah.
That was frustrating. Like I was mad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It just feels like that whole event was just for the spectacle of the show, like for the music, and that was it.
Yeah.
The fight was a side thing.
And to promote Triller, like I didn't know anything about Triller until that fight was coming out.
And then it's like, oh, if I ever see Triller on a thing again, I'm staying clear away. But Showtime has been one of the top, you know.
Best real deal for boxing.
Yeah.
Showtime.
And that's what I mean. That's also what it made it feel like a real event because Showtime, the lights, the broadcast, you know.
Yeah.
It was just a good night, I think, for boxing.
Now I have a question. What does Jake Paul do next? Does he
Tommy Fury, I think.
Yeah. Well, my next
that's
thing.
What the talk is, right?
That's what we want.
Yeah.
It's a real boxer. Now that Jake Paul barely won a fight against an MMA fighter, does he have to retract his boxing call-outs now? Because at first he was like, I don't want to fight a boxer. Then he wins 3 in a row, and he's like, yeah, let's get Canelo.
Fuck Canelo, yeah.
Now he gets a decision, a split decision. Does he still fight Canelo, or is he like, let me rethink this?
Let me rethink this.
If he's smart, he'll rethink this and fight some more celebrities that aren't boxers.
He's such a troll. He apparently, the next day, announced his retirement.
I saw that, and then announced his unretirement.
And it's like, dude.
Bruh. So annoying,
It's so annoying, but it's like, fuck, like it works because...
It's clickbait.
Yeah, people are gonna be like, Jake Paul, you son of a bitch, like...
It's clickbait.
And
he's mastered clickbait.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but now I'm trying to think, who... Because if he's smart, he's not going to fight a boxer. So now it's like, well, who does he fight that's not a boxer?
The best choice would be Tommy Fury. I think.
But he's a boxer, right?
Yeah, but
that's
the fact he didn't look that good against someone that sparred Jake Paul and who's not a boxer whatsoever. Like he didn't look that good.
Okay.
So it's like shit. Now it's like I don't know who wins that fight.
Right.
I want to say Tommy, but I don't know.
Right.
Okay. Cameron, you have any ideas who you think he should fight next? Boxer?
I think he should continue with that retirement, but I mean, that's neither here nor there.
I guess a better
I don't
question
know who he would fight because honestly, regardless of what it is, it's not going to be a legitimate thing. You know, it's just going to be a spectacle to me. Like, I just feel like every single fight is just for the clout instead of the love of the sport.
Right.
And
as much as he says it's for the love of the sport,
it's
I don't
really not.
It's not. It's for
no,
the love
it's
of
for the
ego.
clout. It's the ego. It's literally that. He wants just the attention.
Oh.
And that's why it puts a salty taste in my mouth with it. Like I just
an extra
salty.
So we did
see, I can't wait till we get to the point to where you know, like podcasts, they have like a little board of different sound effects.
Yeah, right.
It's like
little soundboards.
Little moments we can hit where we go for full circle of shit.
Right.
Okay.
And when we actually get mics.
Right.
Oh yeah, we'll work on that next.
Yeah. No, that's the next thing we gotta get mics.
Yeah.
We gotta get mics. We have to learn how to use them.
Okay. Well, is there anybody you want to see him fight? Since
I mean, I'd love to see Canelo knock his ass out.
Yeah,
that's what I really want. Like, if he's really trying to call out Canelo, then fine.
Yeah.
Canelo, please answer him and just ignore all of his shit talk.
Yeah.
Like, he'll say so much shit, don't even say anything back, and then get to the fight and just boom, knock him out.
You know what shot? I just got the chills thinking about it. What shot? All it's gonna be a touch. Boom!
Uppercut.
Left to the body, Jake
Body
will
shot.
fold like a lawn chair in a hurricane.
Oh yeah.
Those are nice because like those delayed reactions. You
Warning!
Yeah, exactly.
Oh no! System failing. Dude, random. There was a knockout recently in the UFC where I've never seen a delay like that.
But it was a delay to the head, right?
Yeah.
Oh,
what the hell? So weird.
He gets hit, and it's like he kind of like looks back, and and there's a pause, and all of a sudden he's just like,
What?
it falls all the way back. I've never seen that
Yeah.
before.
I ain't never seen it. Yeah, because it really was. Usually you see that to the body, but it was to the head, and he looked fine. Oh, that hurt up. Oh, I didn't get it either.
Yeah.
It's so
I
slow.
It
was-
was insane.
I wonder, like how could that happen? Like, did he get concussed?
I don't know the science behind it.
Possibly.
And then, like, he got concussed, tried to focus, and his equilibrium just started.
Yeah.
It seemed like an equilibrium issue. Like, he wasn't, like, out on his feet, but all of a sudden, maybe, like, he just got really dizzy
Yeah.
or something.
His balance just got thrown off.
Almost like if you stand up a little too fast. And
Yeah.
And then it starts to
And
get
then it's just
fuzzy.
like, oh, wait a second, hold on.
Yeah,
Yeah.
let me sit back down.
Yeah.
It's just,
That's literally what
That's
happened.
Yeah, that's probably what. Yeah.
it was so weird.
But yeah.
I've never seen it like that.
But honestly, I think a really fun fight. I don't think he should do it, but like I think it would just like the shit talk would be so great. The promotion would be great. I think the fight would be really entertaining because who I'm about to say gets hit very easily, but is one of the toughest dudes. Any
I,
ideas?
I think we're thinking the same because this is who I want to see
Alright.
fight because
On 1, 2, 3,
he said
go.
something.
On 1, 2, 3, and then we're gonna say it. Okay.
Okay.
All right. 1, 2, 3.
Nate Diaz.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Let's go.
I was thinking the same thing. Yeah.
Let's go. Yeah, he actually commented on Twitter.
Yeah.
He had a picture of Tyron and Jake, and he said, "Yeah, y'all both suck."
Yeah.
That's what he said. So I'm like, you know what?
Yeah.
You should get in there.
Yeah, I would love to see
Yeah.
Nate Diaz fuck him up.
I'm more excited for the press release.
Yeah.
I'm more excited for the shit talk.
the shit
Because I'm
talk,
pretty
yeah.
sure Nate wins that fight, but if Jake Paul has like 1 or 2 more fights, then fights Nate Diaz, where Nate Diaz, you know, he's a goddamn veteran.
Yeah.
And he's easy to hit. Like,
Yeah.
He is.
Like, he's got hands for days. I mean, Andre Ward even says, like, oh, like, yeah, the Diaz brothers can box.
Yeah.
But they have the hands part of boxing,
Yeah, not that slip.
not the slips,
Yeah.
you know? So it's like, Jake Paul could have a lot of success in that fight. even,
Yeah.
you know, because
Yeah.
we know how easy it is for Nate to get bloody
Yeah.
and shit.
Yeah.
I just think it'd be entertaining, you know? But Nate Diaz also has the dog in him and the boxing training in him to where Jake Paul hits that wall, Nate Diaz is just gonna put it on
Yeah.
him. Look what he did to Conor.
Yeah.
Times, you know?
Yeah, I was gonna say if he gets a shot like Tyron Woodley got, he's going in that shit.
Yep,
Like,
and he's
yeah.
not letting you breathe.
Nah, he's not. Side note, I think maybe potentially I wouldn't mind if his brother fought, if Nick Diaz fought.
Dude.
Because I know he been talking about returning for so long.
Yeah,
and
and
he basically
he's a
stopped because
fucking
of
beast
weed.
too.
Yeah, I'd like to see that if that's his big return to fighting is fighting Jake Paul.
And it's a little bit more even because Nick Diaz is a little bit bigger.
Yeah. So
Maybe closer in size.
so I'd like to see that too. But I was thinking the same thing as you. I was
Yeah,
thinking,
Nate
I'd
Diaz
like to see
would
Nate
talk
Diaz
so much
fight.
shit.
Yeah.
Oh, it would be hilarious.
Yeah. That would be great.
Oh man. Like I bet Jake Paul would probably even come out with some funny shit to say.
Yeah, probably.
It'd be.
I don't know. His roast game is whack. I'm sorry, but it is. His
Yeah,
roast
he
game
can't
is whack.
roast. Yeah.
Yeah, his roast game is
Oh.
what? Do something. Do something.
Yeah.
Do something. That's right. You a bitch. You a bitch. Yeah.
He said there was. I think it was his best insult during the final press conference. He's like, we call him the chosen one because he was chosen next to get an ass whooping or whatever.
Oh, and that's like his best burn.
Yeah, and I was like, that ain't bad.
Yeah,
That's a
that's
fun
bad.
play on
Yeah.
words. Still cringy because it's you, but I was like, there's something there.
Yeah, it's coming from you. Yeah.
There's something. I was impressed with Tyron's shit talk, honestly.
Yeah,
he was
yeah,
on point.
Yeah, he really
Yeah.
He
was.
was on point.
Yeah.
Performance, no, but
Yeah, no, the shit talk was on point. Like, he actually kind of stumbled Jake a couple times.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
and I don't think Jake Paul was expecting him to be that good.
No.
right,
Especially
yeah.
fight week, dude. He was firing on
Oh,
all syllables.
Yeah, honestly,
Sure,
I'm gonna take some of his friends. Or I'm gonna take some of his burns when he was like, yeah, when I step up
Did
on
you
that.
just say I'm gonna take some of his friends?
Some of his burns.
Oh, I thought you like I don't know.
Some of his friends. I wish.
I'm
No.
gonna steal some of his friends.
No, I said I'm gonna take some of his burns. Like the one where he's like, yeah, come Friday, you finna turn bitch. You finna turn bitch. I'm gonna start saying that.
Yeah.
I was like, ooh, that's cold.
He
I
says
was like,
that.
I love it when I walk into a room and I smell bitch.
Yeah.
I love that one, dude. I love that one. Like, oh, man.
I'm gonna steal some of those.
Jake Paul was trying to like be all like, oh, I'm paying you. You should thank me. And Tyron's like, I'm gonna thank you by punching you in the face. face. Like, it was just so quick. I'm like, yeah, Tyler, get him. And then, like, Jake, during the face-off, was like, something like, oh, yada yada, and then Tyler kind of the same disrespect was like, oh, like, kiss my nuts or something, like, just so quick.
Yeah.
I kind of butchered it, but
Yeah.
but it was just so quick.
Yeah.
It was like, oh, dude, that's great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Some schoolyard shit.
Yeah, it really is those goals.
Yeah, he was like saying, "Oh, I'm from Disney. How's it gonna feel when you get knocked out by a Disney kid?" Bro, I was knocking kids out since I was this little
Yes.
before you were even in
knocked out-
Disney.
I knocked out more people than your age. Bro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like,
He's like, I had 30 fights in the streets before you were even on Disney, bitch.
Yeah.
Like, fuck.
Yeah, that was.
It just sucks. Just none of it came true.
Yeah, I know.
I know, like, all of that shit talk was just for naught, you know? Like,
Yeah.
god damn it.
But as most shit talk goes.
Yeah.
Granted, especially for pro fights, most shit talk is to sell the fight. So
Yeah,
I
absolutely.
understand. Yeah, what I've learned is, at least outside of pro fighting, the one who talks the most usually has the smallest bite. What was it? Biggest bark, smallest bite.
Yeah.
Usually how it goes outside of pro fighting.
Right.
But in pro fighting, you gotta have the biggest bark because that's what
Yeah.
sells the
Yeah.
fight.
Yeah.
You know, so this is a little different for that. So I understood why that happened, why he didn't live up to the smack talk, because the smack talk was to sell the fight.
Yeah.
But it wasn't nice. It would have been nice.
Yeah.
It would have been nice.
Diaz, y'all both suck.
That's why you'd be perfect for the next candidate, for
Yeah,
sure.
I could care less about the Tommy Fury fight.
Yeah.
Definitely care less about the rematch with Woodley.
Yeah, if he fights Nate
Diaz, I'm all board. That's gonna be
I'm here
fun.
for it.
That's a fun
I am
match.
here for
Yeah.
it.
And maybe that's why Jake Paul is calling that out so much, because he knows that would probably make the most money,
Right.
and it would. Yeah, I think that fight would pull the biggest numbers.
Yeah.
Like, because Nate Diaz is huge.
Yeah, he's got a huge following. Yeah.
And yeah. All right. Well, we're back.
You're back.
We are back.
We're back.
With the podcast. This has been fun.
Yeah.
Kind of the loose form as
Yeah.
usual, but
Yeah.
Yeah, we only had one topic we wanted to cover, and the rest we just filled with
Yeah.
our lives.
Yeah,
So that was
we-
nice.
A little catch up, you know?
yeah.
Get you guys informed on what we've been up to, and,
Yeah.
you know?
We're gonna make sure
Yeah.
we keep this train going. So, guys, thank you so much, especially if you're still watching at this point.
Yep.
It means so much to us. Make sure you like, comment, and of course, subscribe to get more content, more extra salty content like this that you just witnessed.
Yes.
Yeah, we're gonna keep going. We're gonna keep pushing, and we'll see you at the next one. Bye, happy campers.